and sorrow reigns over fields of red, and spirits pace through the shadows cast by their graves. These are days and nights of venom and blood. Heroes will rise as the anchors fall. Brave the strive, reclaim every soul that belongs to the beauty of dawn. Darkness strikes to blind the strong, but faith will guide our swords. Loyal hearts will stand as one and fight with shields of hope. Pride feels the deadly fire that devours our tower of gold. The drums of war will rage and roar till the sun burns bright once more. These are days and nights of venom and blood. Heroes will rise as the anchors fall. Brave the strive, reclaim every soul that belongs to the beauty of dawn. Thank you for watching.
Se on muuten sillä lailla, että pojat me hävitään tää peli.
Alright. Let's start this game. Here we go. Okay, let's listen to my voice for a moment. I'm making a sound check here. Apparently that was something that I actually missed last time. Actually, I noticed just now that I had like played half of the X-Files game with my microphone muted. Well, those things happen. Anyway, today we have Elder Scrolls Online, and newest DLC came out today. So I've been playing this game for the longest time, so that's why I want to show this to you. Yeah, started with 2014, and my experience started with the beta version, which was horribly broken, and then started with the launch. And well, the biggest problem wasn't that game was unfinished, but I had mostly Ukrainian people in my role-playing clan guild, so that was kind of issue when we take account the history. But anyway, today we are going to the Westworld, Skingrad, and usually these start right off the bat, right off the window. When we teleport to the area, the main plot kicks in. And I was thinking I'm going to like play this pretty fast and not going to take a huge amount of time to side quest and all of that, but yeah, this is like a 20 hours or so with the plot, main plot, and more if you do everything, dungeons and all. But yeah, this just came out today, and some people have been able to play it on the PTS. I haven't been able to test it, and as you can see, there's like lots of people now around here.
Ah, there you are. I have been expecting you. Greetings, Proxy. I knew fate would draw you here. New troubles emerge in these lands. The footprints of the once forgotten prince now free. And where the prince walks, disturbance and disorder follow. But that is how we shall find her.
Disturbance and disorder.
A violent order called the Recollection scours ruins throughout the Weald. Strange Daedric creatures harry the region, and the wood elf King Nantharian reigns over a newly grown forest, a sure sign the threads of fate have frayed.
Yeah, because there has been this mention in Old Lore that Cyrodiil was full of jungle, and when the Elder Scrolls Online came out, and Oblivion as well, it was like, there's no jungle here. So this is kind of explaining some of it.
The lines of possibility that weave through reality and hold everything together. Athelia, the Daedric Prince of Paths, has been set free. Her presence threatens both our world and the realms beyond. Help me meet this threat, and you will be rewarded. Let me mark your map. Frayed threads of fate point to Rustwall, the Ellenglin ruins, and Ostermere. And take this relic, the Echoneer. You might find it useful. My friend Baragon offered his townhouse in Skingrad. Let us meet there when we are done. That is not an easy question to answer. Athelia is a Daedric prince. No mortal can match her power without assistance, nor can Hermaeus Mora move against her while she walks our world. He is bound by the Cold Harbor Compact, while Athelia is not.
Ouch. Yeah, that's going to be
An ancient agreement that prevents many of the most powerful Daedric princes from directly manifesting on Nern. Athelia was imprisoned long before the deal was struck, so she and the Daedra that serve her are not party to its restriction.
And the Daedra that serve her. Okay, so Daedra are actually inheriting their mistress, Mr. or Mistress's limitations.
Find her, observe her, discover her plans. Use the Echoneer to reveal her memories. Mora chose you and requested I assist you. He believes you can help preserve reality from Athelia's threat, so we must trust that he shall guide us along the way. We know that Daedric relics such as the Echoneer were used to help defeat Athelia in ancient times. Perhaps such items shall play a part again. For now, knowledge must be our weapon of choice, and our task is to arm ourselves as best we can. They are all within West Weald, not far from the city of Skingrad. Which location are you curious about? Rustwall Estate is an old Colovian manor to the southeast, on the outskirts of Skingrad. Why Rustwall is important, I cannot say. Yet the threats of fate have been disturbed there, and we need to determine the cause. I am not sure. That is why I asked you to investigate. Ostermere is a Colovian town in the Strid Vale, not far from the southern edge of the New Forest. I have heard stories about powerful groundquakes and enraged forest creatures in the area. The Valenwood Forest mysteriously expanded across the River Strid and replaced the previous Colovian terrain. The wood elves who settled the area call it Dawnwood. King Nantharian rules a new Bosmer realm beneath its thick canopy. Very good. I do not know what awaits you at Rustwall, but look for our ally Baragon at Ostermere. He mentioned he had business of his own there. As for Ellenglin, I will meet you there. I am quite curious to see those ruins. It began with Torvasard, a clanless Dremora tormented by a dream he could not remember. He came to suspect that something had been taken from him, and that Hermaeus Mora was responsible. So Torvasard sought allies. The Daedric princes Vermina and Periite. Torvasard convinced them Mora had stolen their memories too. Together they invaded Apocrypha and reached the glyphics in which Mora kept the secret. There was another Daedric prince, Athelia. Hermaeus Mora rallied other princes against her. They defeated Athelia and Mora imprisoned her within the mythos, the core of Apocrypha. Then he made everyone forget. Torvasad opened the glyphics and set the imprisoned memories free. When we followed Torvasad to Athelia's prison, he was as surprised as we were. She had already escaped. Perhaps the act of restoring
Yeah,
her
this
memories
happened
to the
yesterday.
world was enough for her to set herself free. Now Athelia is loose and somewhere in Westweald. They are all within Westweald, not far from the city of Skingrad. Which location are you curious about? Rustwall Estate is an old Colovian manor.
Okay. So she's just repeating. So we are once again playing our Hand of Alamalexia here, and well, Sharper's Knight. We met him at the Telvanni Peninsula, but haven't really upgraded him yet. So we haven't actually played his own plot yet. So Skingrad looks like a bit from the one from Oblivion. So there's battlegrounds.
I just abandoned them to die. Ah, you stopped. Good. I need help. Well, my expedition needs help. We were trying to recover an artifact from the Lucent Citadel, but we were attacked. I don't know who else survived. I just ran through a portal and wound up here. It's an ancient Daedric fortress buried in the sands of Fargrave. We thought we were the only ones there, but we were wrong. It all happened so quickly. I hope you can help them. Nelatai would know. Nothing escapes her notice. If you think you can help us, please find her. She's wealthy and doesn't care for mortal currency, so I know she'd make it worth your while. Please say you'll go. If you have any friends, you might want to ask them to join
Okay,
you.
it's a dungeon.
I don't know if the expedition is still under attack or what is happening. It could be
It's a trial. Oh no. So we are not definitely going to try a trial. Okay, no thanks. So this has a sort of autumn theme. Pretty red. Actually, glass can be made just in this way. Okay. Wineries and stuff. Skin card. Oh, looks like one. Mercenaries required. So these are dailies, probably. Rustwall Estate. So yeah, there was this huge ditch around Skingrad. Let's check around, shall we? I mean, I want to see what kind of place Skingrad is. Yeah, there's the chapel. I think I'll remember this place from the Oblivion. Westwell Legion. That was Dark Brotherhood, nothing to worry about.
Fight for the Weald! Work for the brave of heart!
Now you hear about the job postings. Westwield's Legion could use some capable hands. What aren't we offering at this point? My colleague's Commandant Salirius. Lieutenant Agrance and Legionary Jada have a variety of tasks that need to be dealt with. That's a good question. Each handles a different series of missions for the Legion. Who do you wish to know more about? Legionary Jada has been tasked with coordinating efforts to deal with Daedric incursions throughout the week.
Yeah, there's
These
still
are dangerous missions
Daedric
that will
attacks.
require an abundance of allies to defeat. But with huge risk comes great reward. Lieutenant Agrance offers work that requires teams of mercenaries to dispatch threats. Normally, we'd send legionaries to deal with such situations, but we just don't have the forces to spare. Be sure to bring allies to complete the job, but the pay is good.
Okay, so these are group dungeons.
Commandant Salirius is a Legion officer who handles missions that can usually be tackled by a single operative. He'd prefer it if the Legion could deal with its own problems, but he understands the need to hire mercenaries in these
Assist the Legion.
A wandering adventurer? You're exactly what I'm looking for. The Westweald Legion is in sore need of anyone who has the courage, skill, and determination to deal with a dire threat. Westweald is under attack. Daedric incursions from a realm called Miramore are laying
So
waste
this
to
is
the countryside.
Itheria's realm.
As soon as the Westweald Legion repels one incursion, Miramore's forces launch a new one somewhere else. We need help. Join forces with like-minded adventurers, and fight off any Miramore incursions you encounter. We've learned that you must defeat a powerful Miramore champion to repel an incursion. Be warned, you can't overcome the champion until you kill the Shardborn Valkanazes shielding it.
Yeah, okay, so
Report
this is
back after you
mechanic
stop an
we
incursion.
already saw in
And
a
good luck.
introductory scenario.
A wise question. Preparation is a keen blade in battle. We have observed that each incursion begins with the arrival of a fearsome Miramore champion who anchors the incursion to our world. Defeat the champion, and the incursion fails. There is a complication. 3 Shardborn Valkanazes accompany each champion.
Okay, okay.
The Miramore champion and the Valkanazes.
Julianos, help me. This is a legit. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Westweald has been inundated with Daedra the likes of which we've never seen before. One such monstrosity is the crystalline entity we call Hesidaz the Baleful. I need someone to gather allies and deal with it.
That's a group.
You there. The
Okay,
Imperial.
okay, we can take that.
To this, remember, the Legion is not much. Once this trouble started, the Mages Guild placed the rune-covered spheres to alert us to date. I don't want to worry you.
So Mages Guild actually did something, and the special costume you can get in this DLC is a lamp knight. So basically knighthood of the Mages Guild.
Need of your services. There are problems throughout the region and not enough legionaries to deal with them. Would you be available to hire? It's a delicate matter, I'm afraid. I was tasked with preparing invitations for Count Calantius's upcoming gala, and the printer made a grievous mistake. We must destroy those insidious invitations before anyone notices the calamitous error. The printer rearranged the words I provided. The finished document contains a terrible insult to both the Count and Skingrad. I need someone to travel north to Fort Colovia and burn the crates containing the
Okay,
invitations.
Fahrenheit
before they get distributed.
451 mission.
I remember when the Legion was beyond number, when we had no need of adventurers for hire. Alas, those days are gone. Still, I expect you to bear in mind that Skingrad and Count Calantius are funding your efforts. Conduct yourself accordingly. Believe me, I would rather send trained legionaries, where there are none to spare. When Emperor Varen disappeared, cohorts from across the Empire were summoned to Imperial City. We barely have enough soldiers to protect Skingrad, let alone the Weald.
Okay, so odds and ends basically. Great Chapel of Julianus. Let's be tourists and check inside. Couple pictures.
Word choices matter. For example, think well upon whether you wish to categorize something as, say, a mineral, know the definition of mineral? If not, then start there.
Okay.
You represent the break I needed from pondering thought. Focusing too long provides diminishing returns. Indeed, a fellow priest of Giuliano spilled tea on me yesterday, which helped me reach an important conclusion on the role of mistakes.
Okay. We probably can't. Yeah, we can't go there.
I can't do another night in one of Skingrad's cells. They're so cold. My fragile constitution can't take it. Be a friend and don't share my whereabouts with the Legion, please.
Okay. I like the architecture here. Pretty nice. So let's. Okay, we should actually take that way shrine and check the local tavern, probably. So this feels almost like a place you could use for the role playing. Okay, so way shrines are here. This kind of, okay. Several taverns. Okay, magical. Watery Knight of the Order of the Lamp. Like I said, you're monitoring a magical anomaly. Watery Knight of the Order of the Lamp. Nice. So you can probably get a tavern room from here, which is usually baby's first house in Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, that Daedra ruining my view. Hey!
You look like you had a rough expedition, friend. But we in the Undaunted...
Okay, so there's Undaunted.
Felicitations.
Preparation. Love to see it.
His face grim, drawing strength from within. His sword swings for Leowin.
Okay, Tribune is the card game that came out. Okay. We are not probably. So there's a different levels of players here. If you want to play cards, that's possible. This is actually bugging me slightly. Why there's lots of closed doors. Okay, Rosewine Retreat housing. You can preview the. We don't have a reason to go there. Interesting tavern or inn, whatever. Culinary company. So this is connected to another building, which is totally interesting.
Looking stronger already.
The new forest worries me. Nothing natural ever grew that quickly.
So okay, so that was the
trying to annex territory that is rightfully ours.
Mage's Guild is
But the
here.
elves of Vashabar claim their intentions are peaceful.
So I don't remember how the Skingrad was in Oblivion. I suppose this is along those general lines, but so armory. Let's check this. These aren't really hugely important places, but they are like.
This season's more.
Okay, so here you can buy companion stuff. Okay, can't go upstairs. A bit like Harry Potter style Mage's Guild here. But yeah, Skinguard was pretty tall. Tall buildings in Oblivion.
It's hard to know who your real friends are here. I grew up in Skingrad, and I'm still not used to the ambition and Imperial fervor. I take a more direct path. But Imperials are swayed by appearances. Don't forget that, traveler.
Dark Company deserters are mercenaries. Soldiers of the Alliance have in the Three Banners War have been deserting their posts in record numbers. Dark Company. Interesting. So the war can't go well if they are deserting. There has been like very few words about the Three Banners War in latest DLCs, and the leaders were kind of thinking about ceasefire in a high island. Nantharion. Abbreviated history of Skingrad.
The nobility is adamant that we have little to worry about. The growing tensions will ease at some point. All the same, there is no harm in shoring up your stores of healing drafts and protections.
You stopped. Thank you, Adept. I've been asked to find one of our more adventurous members, someone that could lend a situation fresh eyes. You look like just the person to help with our predicament. The Archmagister asked that I not say too much in earshot of my guildmates. Let's just say it's a magical anomaly. Untamed power from an unknown source. Plenty to catch a mage's interest, but that's just the trouble. It could be highly dangerous. For now, power draws mages like moths to a flame. We're a little hopeless that way.
Yep.
Votary Nalia, a knight from the Order of the Lamp, is on the scene. She needs someone to help her explore this anomaly and assess the danger. What do you say? Excellent! The anomaly is in an old complex called Sunamir, beneath the Sunhold Mages Guild. Good luck. Hopefully the rest of us won't be far behind you. They fill many roles, often acting as bodyguards for powerful members or guardians of ancient magics. There aren't many knights in the Order, especially compared to the number of mages in the guild.
Funny fact, first Order of the Lamp players were actually role players in Elder Scrolls Online, so yeah, definitely good thing that they have been reminding Zenimax that this knighthood actually exists.
The standard for knights inducted into the Order soar higher than Kapora Tower.
I don't
we
believe
don't
that.
Just take anyone who can swing a blade, especially these days. Precious little, I'm afraid. They broke through an old wall to get at it. Votary Nalia can fill you in on the details, but I heard one of the other knights mention it's old, deep magic. Makes sense given the age of Sunamir. No, Sunamir predates the founding of the Mages Guild by, 1,000 years or so. It's an ancient library, I think. Lots of dusty tomes and some esoteric stories from all across Tamriel. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused, a tad overworked, maybe. Some say knights in the Order of the Lamp are just failed mages. Those people haven't met Nalia. She's got an incredible aptitude for portal magic. Taught me everything I know. She'd have made a fine adept if she didn't love that sword so much. At least, I think she loves it. She's hard to read these days. Very focused on work, like I said.
It would be cool if I can make a teleport in a LS console. And of course we can use the waste shrines to move around, but just because that's something because our main character is a vestige.
They fill many roles, often acting as bodyguards for powerful members or...
Yeah, okay, we heard this.
Well, rumor is that Archmagister Vanus formed the order to lend legitimacy to the Mages Guild back when it was founded. That's not really a problem anymore. The knights are brave, skilled, and true. But the order doesn't have much clout these days. Don't let Nalia hear you say that, but yes. Votaries of the Order of the Lamp are a rare sight in Tamriel these days, and likely to get rarer as the years roll on. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused.
Okay.
Nalia and the others are inside. Stay safe in there.
Okay, portal Sunamir, okay. So we can... Okay, so there's lots of portals. The correct places. I suppose we could start our investigations. So these are like dailies. So 3 locations.
Your timing is impeccable.
Oh.
Thank you for your service to the Mages Guild.
Okay.
Thank you for your service to
Okay, Shalidor, what in the earth? Phasing issue, maybe? There's always some small bugs with the published DLCs. Or expansions, rather. Correct term is expansion. Okay, so let's... Okay, that's the wrong way. So Rustwall Estate is up there, I think. So let's go and investigate it first. There's probably lots to do about. And while I watch this map here, it kind of reveals that there's like probably dungeon. There's like probably dungeon. There's this one. There's a couple chances here. The trial is already there. So yeah, and the size of this is small enough that there's like probably we know that there's Oblivion realm that you can explore. Mirror. And I think it started with the Greymore that they had like Black Reach was pretty big location, so they had like this area Skyrim, which we know, that was a lot smaller than previous areas.
Look around. No people. Strange, right? I detached an entire Legion cohort to guard this estate, but I haven't found a single legionary. Not even a servant. What's your story? Do you know what happened to my legionaries? I remember when the Legion didn't have to rely on mercenaries. Still, I'd appreciate the help. Until I find my cohort or the missing servants, I have to assume Skingrad's in danger. I can't abide that. Assist me, and I'll see you well paid. I hereby designate you a temporary agent of the Westweald Legion. Just until we find my soldiers. We'll search the manor house first. I'll meet you inside. Keep your eyes open, comrade. We don't know what happened here.
So she lost like a cohort, which is like, what, over 100 guys and girls.
Well, it's usually a lot more lively. When Count Calantius isn't in residence or it isn't filled with visiting dignitaries, there's still the entire household staff. But so far I haven't found a soul. No signs of a battle or struggle yet either. Count Calantius governs Westweald from the city of Skingrad. He's a shrewd leader. When dignitaries visit Skingrad, the Count offers them use of the Rustwall Manor House. It's the Count's way of, oh, how did he put it? Encouraging positive outcomes. I sent my Legion cohort here, the best soldiers in the Weald. The estate's proximity to the city makes it strategically important. I wanted to make sure we weren't surprised from this direction. But something happened here. We need to find out what. I suppose introductions are in order. I am Tribune Alea Idolus of the Westweald Legion, Marshal to Count Calantius, daughter of Quatrius Idolus, Knight of Colovia. A mouthful, I know, but I enjoy reciting my entire pedigree from time to time. Faithful service to the Legion, plus a strong sword arm. I fought in Varen's rebellion and defended Colovia as the Usurper War broke out. After we won the battle for Northhook, I started moving up the ranks. Now here I am. It happened at the start of the Usurper War. The Daggerfall Covenant sought Northhook as a base from which to invade Imperial City. We didn't want them there. When my commander fell, I took charge. Eventually, we repelled the invaders.
Everyone always repels the Daggerfall Covenant.
My father. He was a successful merchant, but I barely remember him. He died when I was very young. He left me a great deal of gold so I could study and make something of myself. I'm grateful for that. When I was of age, I joined the Legion. When the Usurper War began, the Legion sent me to defend our borders. Colovia has no love for those grasping to be emperor. We didn't want to get dragged into the conflict. Count Calantius heard about my exploits and brought me into his service. In addition to my duties as a Legion Tribune, I perform special missions for the Count. Right now, I'm looking into the various troubles plaguing the Weald. Rumors of cults and Daedra roaming the countryside, whatever's going on in the New Forest. It was the damnedest thing. In a flash, the rolling hills and vineyards were replaced by a thick jungle. And then those wood elves moved in and established the city of Vashabar. You can imagine why the Count is concerned.
Okay. So, mystery of lost soldiers. So why is it showing the outside? probably error in the location. We just need to enter this.
Seems everyone left in a hurry. Take a look around. Someone attacked the servant this belonged to.
Blood. Warning candle.
Servants light this when there's danger, to warn others away.
Okay. Some real life habits here. I wonder if somebody tried to divide by 0 here. Tribunale Idols. My apologies, I skipped the pleasantries. Rustfire in great danger. Karen Leonard's plan we hide in that.
The captain planned to hide, but where? We need to find Captain Laronis. Meet me at the barracks on the south side of the estate.
Okay, mystery quest.
Back here, comrade. I found Captain Laronis. What a loss. I found that letter clutched in his hand.
I find a bloodied armor buried in the forest. Your legionnaires aren't deserting, someone is killing them. Refuge in the catacombs. Groundskeeper.
The servants are hiding in the catacombs. Let's talk. The bloody clothes and the warning candle suggest someone or something attacked Rustwall. And we know Captain Laronis was working on a plan. I hope to find him alive, but the letter from the groundskeeper tells us more than we knew before. Not as grim as it sounds. The Count ordered the catacombs converted into a shelter a while back. He wanted a place for anyone in residence to hide should war sweep over Colovia. Let's hope the rest of the cohort and the servants are safe and secure. Groundskeeper Gaius is a tough old hedge snipper. We need to find him and get his key to open the catacombs. Then we can see how much of the cohort and household staff survived whatever happened here. Let's check Gaius's home first. Groundskeeper Gaius's home is just down the hill to the east. Whether he's there or not, we need to find that key. We fought side by side at North Hook. He was brave, but never foolish. Always took every engagement seriously. A lot of soldiers would be dead right now if not for him. When I received command of the cohort, I requested he join me. About 3 rungs on the command ladder hierarchy. I lead the cohort, but Captain Laronis usually served as our field commander. While I handled strategy and logistics details, he oversaw the forces on the ground. Whatever killed him will pay.
Yeah, so this is actually a real thing from military. If you are high up, you are not going to do the grunt work. Oh, sweet rolls. Just checking if we can find diagrams and blueprints like this. I haven't really played ESO that much in recent years, but these are still valuable. Saga of Varen's Rebellion, nice. So we are actually getting more details about it. It was mentioned in base game, but never elaborated. Greenish Vern. Furniture here. Pretty nice. Of course the tiles are lifted from the Oblivion, but kind of like the style, which is a bit more grounded.
Gaius? Are you here? It's Tribune Alea.
Thank the divines. Are they gone?
Who, Gaius? Who attacked Rustwall?
I'm glad to see Tribune Alea, but she certainly took her sweet time. We've had all sorts of problems here. Did you bring reinforcements? Captain Laronis sent the remaining legionaries and staff into the catacombs. Then he was going to call for help. Dead. Damn shame. He was tolerable as far as Legion officers go. He had a good plan, too. While he hid everyone who was left in the catacombs, I was to keep watch until help arrived. I even stashed the key in a safe place in case the enemy found me. It had to be some sort of enemy army, but all I ever saw were a few wood elves sneaking around the grounds. We need to let everyone in the catacombs know it's safe to come out. Can you go retrieve the key and take care of that? I stashed the key inside the old statue in the garden. Don't worry, I'll draw you a map. Just be careful wandering in the garden. We've had an infestation of odd bugs recently. Odd and dangerous.
Interesting. You mentioned something about wood elves.
Other than the wood elves I spotted sneaking around, we never saw the enemy. And the only evidence of foul play was the bloody armor I found. Captain Laronis assumed it was brigands looking to rob the estate. But would brigands challenge a cohort? I've been supervising the outdoor staff since Leovic was a cub. Gardeners, masons, they all answer to me. No easy job, especially when we're all frightened out of our wits. I know Rustwall inside and out. Made it easy to find a spot to hide my key. When the legionaries showed up, we felt a lot safer. A little security in these troubled times. Then, one by one, soldiers started disappearing. We weren't sure if they were deserting or what. Then, I found the bloody legionary armor.
Okay, then what?
Captain Laronis suspected an enemy was picking the cohort off one by one. He expected a full-scale attack, so he sent the staff into the catacombs with the remaining legionaries to protect them. I hid here until you and the Tribune showed up.
So they stealth killed like a 90 legionnaires. Okay. That's not interesting. Let's check upstairs.
Grab the map and let's go. We need that key.
Okay. He's using the lamp of Almalexia. Which is sometimes good when it's actually too dark. Okay, he can draw. That's a river, right? Inside garden. How do they get sunlight?
The gardens are just east of here, down the hill. The Rustwall Gardens. Our map indicates a spot on the western side. They're from deep underground. What drove them to the surface?
Good thing they hit the people underground. Lizard. Oh no, not the ticks.
There. That's the statue marked on the map. Search for the hidden...
Leovik.
That's the key. Now let's go open the catacombs. The door is across from the barracks.
Leovik statue. His undead form we killed and destroyed. I don't think you can kill the undead, but destroyed in Imperial City. Wait, where we should be going? So we need to find the catacombs. Okay, now nothing here. One of those theme park MMOs that hold you from the hand, so that's why you are kind of lost when the markers pads out or show the wrong place or do not give. Okay, enter the rust from catapult. So it's in building next to us. Yep, over there. Do not disturb the dead. I've noticed that loading times are pretty high with the current DLC. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming or what.
We need to find my cohort.
Lots of copy and paste dungeons, so okay.
I want to find my legionaries.
Okay, recollection. Okay, recollection is
down there.
the cult.
Still no sign of the escaped legionary, Shard Marshal.
No matter, mortal. More of our forces will come through soon.
Shard Marshal.
Say, Shard Marshal Vargas. We have more than enough weapons now.
That wood elf. He's with the recollection. And he's taking orders from a Dremora? What's going on here?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
This furniture was meant for the comfort of dignitaries who took refuge here. Not for these recollection bastards.
Okay, nothing interesting. Laundry. Haven't seen that in many games. New art with dogs, and this moves to just step on. Unfortunately, in this game, the taking out the mooks is about as interesting as taking the trash out. So, not really thrilling. Lead. So if we want to search the relics. That's also scrying. I don't think I have leveled up the scrying with this chapter.
Report, soldier.
Hate to bring bad news to the Tribune, but I'm the only member of the cohort left. Those recollection zealots killed legionaries guarding the estate until we sent whoever remained down here. That's when we walked right into the Daedra's clutches.
Well, damn.
I got lucky. I fell behind to adjust a loose bootstrap. When I heard the attack start, I slipped into the shadows and have been running ever since. Look, the Daedra have a portal. They're filling the catacombs with Daedric forces to attack Skingrad. It's in the ruins, down in the deepest part of the catacombs. Two magical anchor things keep it open. Area is strong, and you look like you can handle yourself. While the Recollection hunts me, you need to destroy that portal.
So, Daedra are actually invading this place, which is nice.
Go east, and you'll find where the Daedra dug up from below. Drop down and keep going east. You'll know the portal when you see it. Break those anchors, and I bet the portal closes. I'll try and lead the Recollection away, and then find you down there. I've become pretty good at sneaking around down here. There are all sorts of secret passageways and trick walls. You just have to know where to look. Don't wait for me, though. I have to move slow to avoid the Recollection patrols and the Daedra. Almost positive. The Recollection swarmed the remaining cohort and the servants we were protecting. They worked fast. It was a slaughter. I'm lucky I lagged behind, or they would have fallen on me too. I managed to pull a few servants away, but they weren't soldiers. No one trained them for any of this. I can't blame them for making too much noise, or being too slow with the blade. I tried to keep them safe, but it wasn't long before I was on my own. Call it a hunch, but if I'm being honest, I have no idea what it will do. It might fling you right into oblivion, or turn you into a netch. The anchors seemed important. At the very least, destroying them is better than leaving them be.
Hammer time.
Legionary Capio is right. We need to shut down that portal. Legionary Capio made it this far. We need to trust that he can continue to evade the enemy for a while longer. Let's find these ruins he spotted down below and find a way to deal with that portal. Down into the ruins. We've got to close that portal.
We.
Portal is to the east.
Okay, and NPC actually jumped after me. Ah, that's a player character. That happens when you are actually playing with the shared world.
Plenty you can do with that.
That's a floating book. Interesting. No books or anything interesting. I like the fact that a venomous fabricant is spawning so often. So the horse that comes, it's probably from Tribune's skill tree. Pretty interesting that they are actually developers are not showing the, or the game is actually showing the how what kind of skills the other NPCs have. Of course, I did turn off the extra effects, so that might have changed it as well. But yeah, we are kind of smurfing these, and it's kind of point. I just want to see what's in here, so that's why we are checking this. Okay, that's a crystal place. Crystals are evil here. Hammer time. Okay, this was pretty okay. Okay, he's kind of protected. Okay, can't destroy that one. Okay. And then again, hammer time.
Retreat! That closed the portal. Good work. Now, let's find a way out of here.
This way, Tribune. Follow the tracks.
Evil crystals. Suppose the mirror more will be like mirror dimension of no, realm of oblivion, basically. All quests are pretty well, not all, but most of quests I think are with the same theme.
Over here, comrade. Let's talk.
That's a player.
My cohort almost completely destroyed. The Rustwall staff almost all dead. Even Shard Marshal Vargas managed to slip from our grasp. While we closed the portal and saved Skingrad, it feels like we failed, comrade.
Almost all dead. Well, practically destroyed if cohort is there's like a 2% only left.
The threads of fate? That sounds ominous. But after what we saw down there, I'll keep an open mind. We learned that the Recollection Cult is working with Daedra and taking orders from Shard Marshal Vargas. They got damn close to invading Skingrad. With the portal closed and the Daedra on the run, the remaining Recollection forces aren't enough to threaten Skingrad. But I'll get the Legion to send more soldiers, just in case. Here, the pay I promised. The Legion always makes good on its debts.
So, Legion's Guardian, Alien Refuge set. Alien Refuge, okay. Well, these are not plot-related names. But it's a tank set with the stamina and health. Blocking attack reduces your damage taken by 11% for 3 seconds. Oh, interesting. So, proper sword and board set, because using the shield has been like pretty not efficient in this game. It's shield only like added your armor value, while in World of Warcraft Classic that actually gave a chance to mitigate. So chance to mitigate was hugely better thing than in this game. More armor.
Consider your temporary commission suspended, comrade. Though I'd love to have you permanently assigned to my cohort. I plan to continue to look into the Recollection and Shard Marshal Vargas. I hear there's a wood elf in Skingrad doing the same. I'll send for more legionaries to clear them out. As many as we can spare. With the portal closed and Shard Marshal Vargas on the run, they shouldn't pose too much of a problem. That's up to Count Calantius. I'll advise him to keep legionaries at the estate even when no dignitaries are present. Problem is, we don't have many left to allocate here. The Legion isn't what it once was. What with the Empire in disarray. You know him? Interesting history for a wood elf. Traveled Tamriel as an adventurer in his youth, then became an Imperial scribe. I understand he's retired now, but word is he's investigating the Recollection. I should find him and compare notes. I'll send for more legionaries to clear them out. As many as we can spare. With the portal closed and Shard Marshal Vargas on the run, they shouldn't pose too much of a problem. That's up to Count Calantius.
Okay, we already talked about this.
I'm grateful to you and Tribune Leia. Those Recollection soldiers would have found me eventually. Only so many places to hide down there. You're quite impressive for not being part of the Legion. I think I could learn a thing or two from you.
Okay. Let's take the Way Shrine. Where is this road supposed to lead? Ah, here. Funny thing that nowadays you can actually walk around the Tamriel. There's so many areas that are connected. So you can make a grand tour. Which is basically pretty cool. Yeah, you can go here. Makes the game world slightly more real, because the problem with the 2014 version is that it wasn't really real. It was like theme park. And not really, places didn't look like somebody could actually live in there. But developers are taking lots of pages from the real life. So it has, the Elder Scrolls Online has been growing pretty nicely along the years. And DLCs have been really good. Always. Hey, even Cracklorn was pretty nice. So where is this leading? Okay, so there's a fortress over there, so you can't technically go to the Cyrodiil, which is Cyrodiil in this game is a PvP area. I guess the three sides are fighting over the control of the land. let's see, there's a road that goes here. So you can probably go Gold Coast through here. And I wonder where this leads. Sometimes these actually show the next location for the upcoming expansion. So I suppose if you can go here, it's not ending up Cracklorn, but right here. And I don't think there's been like several instances of the DLCs being campaigns. Like first we had this Vardenfell, then we had like Clockwork City. Oh, there's more. Clockwork City, and then we had like Somerset, and it was all grand journey. Northern and Southern Elser were same story. Murkfire was a single standing, and that was pretty nice, but interesting. But Blackwood was connected with the Deadlands, and then there was this, yeah, Deadlands, and then it continued with the High Iceland. It felt a bit short, but yeah, it was cool. So now we just need to find the battle area. Alien well. Hey, let's use this. You can find these from the Cyrodiil side of the game. Kind of gives you a buff. Alien health bonus. Not a magica bonus, but more incursion. And nothing happening here. Ogre. Mirror more mosaic. Mirror worm. That looks like a slode. Mighty interesting. What's a Terriger?
We headed our way.
Interesting beasts around here. So that thing's butt is made of mirror. That must be painful. So what's our next? I suppose our next bet would be like go and check the try to follow the main Ostumir. Linking Ostumir. Yeah, so north or west? I think I'm going to north. Yeah, we can ride. I remember this place from the Oblivion. I think the river might have dried up. Oh, we're looking the gorge beside the skin castle bridge. Oh, okay, it's over there.
Your pockets.
So the castle bridge is here, and yeah, this was a weird event back in the day of Oblivion. So then again, Elder Scrolls Online has made a lot of upgrades to the lore and contributed to Elder Scrolls world. So not kind is actually lifted from previous games to this MMORPG, and I'm kind of happy about it. Travel to Eldenroot, travel to Mournhold. Mighty interesting. So can we go around here and to the Sky Shard?
I've got to find... Oh! You look like just the sort of heroic warrior I could use. My family's farm is facing some goblin problems right now.
Okay, goblins.
And I'm worried my uncle is going to do something terrible. Does that sound like something you could help with?
What do you think your uncle is going to do?
My uncle Octavius is going to hire some hunters to cull the goblins. But the goblins haven't done anything deserving a full cull yet. Pym says there's a reason for the goblins' behavior, and I believe her. She's a goblin researcher. Pym's taken special interest in the 2 tribes which have camps near our farm. She talks about goblins like they're the best thing in all of Westweald. Go talk to Pym. I'm sure she'd pay you for your help.
I think it is. The interesting fact about Oblivion is that they had like goblin wars. You might heard like Skyrim Civil War, that it was supposed to be like battle between 2 factions, but there were this 2 goblin tribes going at each other, and it had actually had actual mechanics in Oblivion, but it was never explained or expanded. So I recall that there was this, that you can actually micromanage the Goblin War if you want with that game, and that's crazy.
I think Pym was going to meet with my uncle, so you might be able to find her at the family farm near Gray's Hollow. I really hope you can help the situation before things get too bad.
And I think it was around these areas, more or so. So this is one of those ideas that was lifted in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
I don't have a clue. They've never been this angry before. My uncle and the other farmers can forgive a few sheep here and there, but they'll lose everything if the goblins continue like this. They're not hungry. Anything they kill is left where it is. I'd say the goblins are sending us a message, but no one on the farms has done anything. Pym checked. I can't blame the farmers for being nervous.
Goblin is there. Let's go and get the Sky Shard. Well, at least the developers are now putting some effort to the explaining why the nature is trying to kill you. What's the dark splotch here? Ah, it's probably the jungle.
Goblin just attacked me, Pim. My niece is missing. I'm hiring the hunters.
Give me more time. I can figure out what's upsetting them. I can calm them down.
Sorry, Goblin researcher. Looks like I won.
I need to protect my farm. My family. My niece Bella went out on her own and now she's missing. If hiring those hunters will save her life, then I'm going to do it, even if Pim hates me. Then she still has to make her way back here to safety, and that's not something I can guarantee with all these goblins around. I know my course. The hunters are the only way to ensure my family's safety. She'd be fine if those goblins weren't out here. One of them just attacked me. You can see its body, there. The goblins are the problem, and Yerntan's hunters are the solution. I know it.
Hiring hunters isn't the way to solve this problem. I know that goblins can be unnerving if you aren't used to them, but wiping out 2 camps is going too far. Do you have a moment to help me with this goblin problem?
Do you know what the goblins are attacking?
These goblins are more aggressive than usual. It's almost as if they're getting ready for war. When goblins fight, they make trouble for everyone. Goblins aren't stupid, though. They wouldn't get this aggressive without a cause. If searching through a few goblin camps to see what's upsetting them is all it takes to stop a tragedy from happening, I'll do it. Come with me? There's a bitterfish camp not too far.
Okay, so this
I
is...
have some funding left over.
This is
You can have it if you help.
This is the tribe from the Oblivion.
It'll be hard to miss the bitterfish's camp. It's just west of here. Look for the campfire. Or walk until you smell fish. Watching the goblins and studying their mannerisms would be a lot easier if their camps didn't smell so strongly. Same way you study anything else, I guess. I keep my distance and observe the goblins from afar. Sometimes they get comfortable enough with my presence that I can move closer. But I never disturb their lives or interfere with what they're doing. What we'll be doing won't strictly be research. We'll be intervening for a good cause. This time we'll make our observations and inquiries from within the goblin camps. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with my research's integrity. I'm not sure, really. Signs of a struggle? Maybe a disturbance of some sort?
It takes more than you think to get an entire camp this angry, let alone 2. I'm familiar with this bitterfish camp. I should be able to tell when something's amiss.
Okay, what's Grace Hollow?
Keep your gold, Octavius. My friends and I are going to fix this.
Don't blame me, Pen.
Dead chicken. Oh no. That's actually probably a joke for the Skyrim where guards attack you if you touch the chicken. A small garden. I suppose we shouldn't go here yet. Squirrel. So maybe this is like a rerun of the tribe war in a Oblivion. But then again, Oblivion is set like 800 years to the future or so. Sanguine Shrine.
Call too much attention to yourself. I don't want to stress the goblins more than necessary.
I think I had something. Empty shrine and shaman. Which is sleeping or dead?
Oh no! They're shaman? Oh, look at the wounds! Goblin weapons don't cause trauma like that.
Okay, so these are war drums.
Normally there's an incredible totem in this shrine. Where is it? Goblins never move their totem. The missing totem and the shaman. It's all so horrid. But we should talk over what we found. Losing a shaman is enough to cause uncertainty within a goblin camp. But losing their totem too? No wonder this camp is so violent. I have some theories, but nothing conclusive. Nothing good. The missing totem is already enough to get the goblins angry and mobile. But the dead shaman explains the chaos. They're scared and unorganized. Desperate. We can't. Not without their totem. Until they get it back, they won't appoint a new shaman. And whatever happened to the previous one seems suspicious to me. We should investigate the Sharptooth camp next. It's just southeast of Gray's Hollow.
Gray's Hollow.
Goblins are highly territorial. That's why the Sharptooth camp is a little ways away from the Bitterfish goblin camp. Still, they're nearer than most other goblin tribes, and that makes for interesting research. You'll see what I mean. They're not as frightened of other creatures. I suppose having a camp near Gray's Hollow will do that. They do tend to get into more mischief because they're not as intimidated by the farms, but they're also not as reactionary.
Sanguine Shrine, okay. Yeah. I suppose it was here in Oblivion as well. Yeah, that's a Sanguine. Swirling libation drink. I wonder what happens. Seriously, we are going to test that later, but not now. I think it should be like this way around. Okay, there it is. Gray's Hollow. I'm not bothering to kill the mooks. I've been like butchering so many lower level enemies in this game, so it's not really pretty interesting. Okay, so Sharptooth camp is here, not here. So I wonder what this is. Okay. Okay, screenshot time. Probably marking the boundary of the camp. Very nice.
And the goblins look agitated here too. Let's see what we can find.
Okay, only 2 items to see once again. Okay, two dead shamans.
Easy.
That probably pisses them off. Rusty knife.
A rusty knife? It's not one of the goblins. See the handle? Much too big for them. This can't be coincidence.
Hello? Is someone there? I need help.
Okay.
What is Octavius's niece doing here?
normally so good at conversations, but this blasted trap on my leg is really getting in the way. Would you mind releasing it? I don't think I'll be able to form any more cohesive thoughts with it on like this.
Yeah,
Thank
bear
you.
trap.
Did I hear you mention a knife? Can I see it? Pim always talked about how dangerous entering a goblin's camp was. I was trying to stay away from the goblins, but I guess I should have been looking to stay away from the traps instead. You found a knife. Can I see it? She's right. It doesn't. This is my family's kitchen knife. My uncle said it was missing just the other day, but goblins don't steal knives. I don't know. This could explain why the goblins are encroaching on the farms more than usual. Maybe the sight of the knife or the smell of it is turning the already angry goblins against the farmers. I realized I just couldn't send strangers into a situation I was too scared to be in myself. I didn't get very far though. Stepping on that trap was stupid. But I'm glad I was here to identify the knife for you.
So why is there traps in the goblin camp?
Finding the knife we planted won't change anything, Pim.
You stole the knife? Why?
Ask your precious researcher. Her work is very enlightening.
My work? Oh, adventurer. I think I know what he's doing. My last publication was on the past major goblin wars. What started them, the factors and variables that drove all these different goblin tribes to war. Yearn 10 is recreating the exact conditions of Bone Cliff battle. There was a rough few seasons. 2 camps lost their shamans to sickness while flooding destroyed their totems. Neither tribe left the battle with enough goblins to support their camps. The only thing Yearn 10 introduced to the tale is a knife. Which explains why the goblins were so hostile to the farms. Yearn 10 doesn't just want the goblins to be violent. He wants to be paid. Yearn 10, because he wants to lure the goblins to his hunters. They won't be paid unless the goblins are dead. And Yearn 10 is lazy enough to devise a plan to get the goblins to come to him. I think Octavius led the hunters camp in Gray's Hollow.
I'm trusting you to deal out justice for the dead goblins.
I'll meet you at Gray's Hollow.
Not too many meals in this game. I mean there were like couple in Deshaan, but well, not one actually, but not too often. Basically, you should see one of those in every village. Oh, Iliad ruin.
You have to get the totems back. Nothing else will stop this violence. I've never seen goblins so agitated. I hope it's not too late to return the totems to them. I'd hate to have to write up this incident as a tragedy. Not if it can be stopped. I think I'd have to. If we can resolve this peacefully, then others may need to know how we did it. Goblins are reasonable creatures, even in this state. If I return the totems, that might end this whole ordeal. Would you mind retrieving them? I don't think I can bring myself to attack a goblin. I'll only slow you down in there. I'll meet you on the western side of Gray's Hollow when you're done. I probably shouldn't stay in one spot for too long. The Bitterfish and Sharptooth goblins have well-documented totem motifs. Both will have skulls in a place of prominence. Bitterfish totems are taller and incorporate feathers, while the Sharptooth totems are shorter and very clean.
Ouch. Okay, here's the Sharptooth Totem and Bitterfish Totem.
Oh no, you're not going to ruin this for us.
Slightly late.
I don't need payment to kill you.
That's the second boss that was a bit too slow.
Got to be better than that to stop us.
Okay, so they have lots of goblin stuff here. Okay, so now what? A bow, eli okay, so she's up there. I suppose we have been killing goblins so many times that this is only okay. Can't climb. This is only fair that they get there first at some point.
Thank the eight. Hand me the totems. The sooner I can return them to the goblins, the sooner this mess is over. Thank you. I hope this works. I was making good progress earning these goblins' trust, but Yerntan's actions might have ruined that. Well, there's only one way to find out. Here they come. Don't attack them. I did not take your totems, but I am returning them. So please, stop. Did you see that? The displays of aggression just disappeared. Oh, they're calming down. I don't know if they'll attack either of us on sight anymore. Oh, this is impossibly exciting. I think they trust me. This is such a breakthrough for my research. See how they're not attacking us? That's proof that they're not hostile anymore. I couldn't have done this without your help. Thank you. Please, accept this.
Eye piercer. Primal style. Nice penetration, by the way. So it's a DPS set. Damage set. When you kill a monster, they burst with the blood magic, okay? Nice. Dealing 50% of max health to enemies. Within 6 meters has a bleed damage up to 24,000 bleed damage. Damage cannot critically strike. Okay, that's interesting. This effect can occur on once every 0.5 seconds. That's interesting. But not all monsters can bleed, or enemies rather. That's interesting set, by the way.
I am going to be able to return to my research with a new perspective on goblins. Although, I might keep my notes to myself for a bit. Maybe I can stop the next Yerntan by delaying my publications. I suppose I'll settle down here and make sure the two camps are protected from more interference. They deserve the same safety that the farmers want for themselves. I'm sure, in time, the farmers can learn to not be so scared of goblins. Between Bella and I think we can get Octavius to change his views. He'll help us with the others. Everyone was too blinded by their fear of the goblins to see Yerntan for the crook that he was. We can change that. I am. Like I said, the misunderstanding here was fueled by fear. But there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There are other places in Tamriel where goblins and humans coexist. It's not impossible.
Interesting side quest.
No. We must get this right before our performance.
Sir Klauser. Lady Sover.
Oh! Sorry. Probably not the best idea to sneak up on someone juggling knives. Especially sneaking up on one rehearsing for their debut performance in Skingrad. I was making my way to Skingrad from Anvil. The Gold Road was stunning until, bam, I'm in this dense jungle. Then, I spotted a pig surrounded by giant bugs. I rescued her. Not long after, a badger caught in vines. I agree. But the Daggerfall nobles never appreciated my talents. And the bright lights of Skingrad beckon. Lady Sawera and Sir Klauser appreciate me. And I hope the fabulous people of West Weald will as well. Yes! We three are the Burning Wild Band. Because I found these two in the wild, and, well, I'm a bit singed myself around the edges. Sorry. Anyway, we'll perform in Skingrad soon before Count Calantius himself. You can be my first critic. First off, I need to determine what I should be doing. Then we can figure out the assignments for Lady Sawera, my pig, and Sir Klauser, the badger. Lend me a critical eye, and tell me what you think works best. One option is that I dazzle folks with my sword juggling. It's a big crowd pleaser, but I've noticed it makes the animals nervous. The other option is I dance, and dance, and dance. Not as exciting as swords, but the animals enjoy it more.
Well, you should dance.
All right, let me begin. This dance took me weeks to master. Isn't it stunning? Now, time to refine Lady Sawera's performance. Come speak to me. Next, we have to figure out what our precious Lady Sawera is doing. So, Lady Sawera has been trained to walk in elegant circles around Sir Klauser and me. The question is, should she start in the front or in the rear? Sounds good. All right, Lady Sawera, begin your routine from the front. And finally, Sir Klauser takes his cue. Please, tell me your thoughts. Finally, it's Sir Klauser's turn. For his part of the performance, he remains in place as I perform around him. He can either pretend to be asleep, or he can be more active, pretending to eat bugs from a tree. Which do you think is more tantalizing?
You should pretend to sleep. You should be more active.
Then it shall be so. Sir Klauser, show us your fabulous acting ability. Now this will be wonderful. Let us redouble our efforts and practice fervently now. Thank you for all your advice, friend.
Get vanished. Yeah, some kind of instance, slightly instance problem. Who's there? Aguilera bearers.
my shouting, traveler. You wouldn't happen to have seen a dog running around. Large, fluffy, carrying a very important estate-defining scroll in his mouth? Oh, it's a tiring ordeal. I'm visiting Westweald to execute the will of my late aunt, Lady Weatherly. The will my aunt's beloved dog, Betu, currently has in his slobbery little mouth. No thanks to Lady Weatherly's investigator friend.
Investigator. Who?
Yes, one Mizik Thunderboots. It seems
Kazid.
he and my aunt are old friends, and he insisted on helping execute her will. I've had my fill, but you're welcome to lend him a hand. In fact, I can offer you a tidy sum if you can help move things along. You can find Mizik just down the road, searching the Weatherly estate for Betu. He has quite a distinct look. You can't miss him. Khajiit wearing a broad-brimmed hat and big, heavy boots. Quite the flair for the dramatic, if you ask me. My dear aunt suffered a terrible fall in her library. It's tragic. She certainly had many more years ahead of her. Now those she left behind are trying to piece together her final wishes. Even her son deigned to return. I shouldn't be so flippant with my family's drama. Uriel, my cousin, disappeared years ago. My aunt believed he died in Varen's revolt. Yet, here he is. Something doesn't seem right. But I'll leave the speculation to the investigator. One Mizik Thunderboots. It's an odd name for an investigator, don't you think? Doesn't inspire a sense of discretion. Although, if what he says is true, he knew my aunt. If she trusted him, then so can I.
Help investigate the mysterious death of Lady Weatherly. Okay, estate.
It seems Mizik has been fooled by a four-legged escape artist. Ah, greetings, traveler. Perhaps you can help Mizik in his search? Careful now. A cunning and foul beast has made off with an important document and played Mizik for a fool. Perhaps you can help retrieve it?
Cunning and foul beast, dog.
Ah, a wonderful idea from dear Aquilia. This one fears there is more afoot to Lady Weatherly's death. But our first clue is currently in the jowls of a dog. A hairy, stinky thing. Betu is the beast's name, though this one calls him Headache. Oh, yes. Helping with the will is a cover. Not only was her death sudden and mysterious, but now her fortune is missing, and her long-lost son has returned.
Sus.
Many threads for one's claws to get tangled in. Yes, yes. Aquilia wishes the question of inheritance be conclusively answered before it becomes fodder for the gossips. Now, dear Aid, we must find Betu. This one has already found his tracks. Let us crouch down and follow his trail.
Okay, so we can follow Betu's tracks. And they are highlighted when I crouch. Okay, maybe the dog is a bit of a nuisance.
More tracks. The dog definitely went this way.
Get it together, Edric. You're a mess.
What's that? Mizik hears voices. Let us listen in.
Our dear lady is dead.
and you still don't believe me.
Then talk to the investigator. Don't pull me into this.
Can we even trust him? I don't want to be labeled a suspect.
Better to talk to an investigator than a gardener, Edric.
Not a gardener. A friend. You do well to leave, Otho. And take Betu with you.
So where is the dog is around here. We made a terrible mess along the way.
I don't know what you're playing at, but you were a fool to come here.
There's Lady Pelena and her husband Uriel, our once long-lost son.
Be angry all you want, dear wife, but don't cause a scene. I'm here to stay.
Fine. Then you can help deal with your cousin and that inane investigator. Now, where could that mangy dog have gotten off to?
Everyone is so sus. Maybe it was a suicide. So the dog has been like running in circles or something. Okay, here it is.
Not now, Betu! Away with you!
With the will secured, let us speak with Edric.
Betu's always been an incorrigible sort. Best not to let him walk all over you. Apologies. I should introduce myself. My name is Edric Brusner. I was Lady Weatherly's cook. Terrible thing, her death. Beyond compare. Yes, terribly so. I've been in her employ for what feels like ages, which is why I hope you'll listen when I say you must leave the estate. I fear what happened to our dear lady could happen to you. Chefs are privy to more than just their employer's favorite dishes. Lady Weatherly hasn't been the same since her son's disappearance, and I'm not the only one to take notice. Fruit flies buzz around the sweetest fruit, after all. I can't say any more. I only came to pay my respects and to leave this place behind. If I were you, I would stay far away from that manor before that investigator digs up something horrible.
It seems the cook knows more than he is willing to let on. How very curious. Mizik will have to make note of this. At least this confirms that the residents of the estate are keeping their secrets close to their chests. Yes, of course. Along with the cook, there's Otho Florius, the gardener. Then, of course, Lady Weatherly's missing son himself, Uriel, back from the dead. And his wife, Helena, who has long lived at the estate with Lady Weatherly. Convenient, yes? Many questions surround Uriel's sudden return. And it should be noted that Helena seems none too pleased about it. Mizik has, of course, investigated a number of failed marriages, but this seems different. Ah, what of the will?
Feels like a case of Edward Guare from real life.
Yeah, excellent.
16th century.
The seal is still intact. We should return to the manor now that we've secured the will. I am certain our roosting vultures are keen to hear what it has to say. Meet Mizik by the manor house when you are ready to meet the others.
hope Betu's return means you retrieved the will, Mizik?
Yes, the will is returned and intact, thanks to my assistant.
Well, let's get this over with. Read it aloud, Mizik.
Yes, of course. Weatherly's walls hide a glittering secret, safely guarded by 4 loyal paws. Do not worry. Mizik and his assistant will get to the bottom of this.
I'm sorry. Is that a riddle?
This must be some sort of joke.
There he is, my faithful friend. Oh!
Strange. Betu doesn't seem too fond of you, cousin.
Nonsense. I'm sure Betu just needs time to remember me. Isn't that right, boy?
Feel free to speak with the others, but join me in the study when you are ready.
The estate feels hollow now, without her. And apologies for my appearance. Needed some liquid courage to walk the halls of this corpse. I hope you find who did this. She did not deserve what happened to her. Closer than most staff are with their lords and ladies, I reckon. I'd worked for her since before young Uriel had even been born. Feels like a lifetime ago. More memories to drown, I suppose.
Good doggy.
I'm Otho, the gardener. Betu must like you if he followed you back. He's a good judge of character, you know. Lady Weatherly loved him dearly. I worry about what will become of him when all is said and done. Edric is making a bit of a fool of himself. It pains me to see him this way. I assure you, he's never acted like this before. Perhaps it'd be better if you asked him. He's had a rough go of it.
It seems I was right to ask for your help. Despite the mysterious contents of the will, this is the most progress we've made all day. I trust you and Mizik will see things through, and we can proceed with this unpleasant business. Fairly, though I wish I had made more of an effort to visit. I spent many summers here when I was younger, but school and then my position kept me away for far too long. She was kind, generous. Her loss outweighs any treasure we might find.
All this waiting, and for what? A riddle. It's absurd. The sooner you and Mizik solve this riddle, the sooner our family can move on from this nonsense. To think we haven't even had a chance to celebrate Uriel's return. How embarrassing. You overheard that. Tensions have been high since his mother's passing. There are certain adjustments we've both had to make. Nothing some restful sleep can't solve.
Interesting.
I didn't realize Mizik had an assistant. A pleasure to meet you. I hope, despite the circumstances, you will find time to enjoy the estate grounds. It's beautiful this time of year. A small blessing while we grieve. Happy doesn't do the feeling justice. Ecstatic, overjoyed, yet still burdened by Mother's passing and the horrors of battle. But being surrounded by loved ones has been a major boon.
I'm not too sure. Let's check the estate. Starting with cellar, naturally. This is wine cellar. Ah. This looks a bit too modern. Birdhouse. Sort of something you do in elementary. Okay. Kitchen. We need to meet the cat in the study. Which is here. Okay.
Why would Lady Weatherly leave a riddle in her will? Perhaps you can make sense of it.
Following determination of my remaining wealth and holdings upon the occurrence of my death, I trusted him recipient will understand. Weatherly's was a glittering secret, safely guarded by 4 loyal paws.
Could the 4 paws mean Betu? They certainly are not Misik's. Perhaps we can find a clue here in her study. A note peeking out from behind the painting. Excellent eye for detail, friend.
I know how hard it will be to build a letter with no signature. But I fear for my life as much as I fear yours. To earn your trust, I offer you this ginseng and compare tribute with candied rose petals. Only someone who cares for you dearly would know your favorite tea. Is writing this letter because traitor seems behind your back. Pains me to say this, but a woman who cared maybe had a hand in murdering your son. We must meet as soon as possible. I fear we haven't much time.
It seems Lady Weatherly led her own investigation into her son's death.
It would seem so. Cook has started following me about the grounds. I believe it's time we let the cook go.
It seems Peli-Rami made her feelings about the cook quite clear to Lady Weatherly. Let Misik see the note. An anonymous letter warning Lady Weatherly of a traitor. This one wonders if they were able to meet before her death. It paints a disturbing picture of her final moments. Misik was told that Lady Weatherly died alone in her library. But could she have met with a stranger only to become their victim? We must question the family, but do not mention the note. Whether this note was sent by the killer or a kind soul close to Lady Weatherly, it confirms one thing, that there is indeed a traitor among us. And with this letter, Misik can do what he does best. Play cat and mouse.
Of course.
If you are looking for the stranger who calls himself Uriel, he went to walk the estate grounds with Peli-Rami, and not a moment too soon. I was growing tired of their bickering. Of course, though I doubt I'd be of much help. I was tending to affairs in High Isle when I learned of my aunt's death. As her last living blood relative, I saw fit to see to her will.
Oh, we saw her at the High Isles.
Oh, as I understand it, she fell from her library's ladder while reaching for a book. If she had kept a modest staff on hand, perhaps she could have been saved. But by the time she was found, she had passed. I believe it was one of the estate's remaining workers. Helena would know more. She was here when it happened. Unlike Uriel. I know grief can cloud one's judgment, but is she not at all suspicious of Uriel's story? I haven't seen Uriel since we were teens, before I was sent to boarding school. And then he left to fight in Varen's revolt 6 years ago. He might share a passing resemblance, even with his scar, but I don't believe he's really Uriel.
So Edward Guerre, in other hands.
Frustratingly, no. But my aunt spent countless coins searching for Uriel. Even if his story is true, and he lost his memory, she would have found him. I fear Uriel was lost to us in the revolt. And this man is wearing our grief like a disguise.
So 6 years ago. So 576 was the Parents' Rebellion, lasted to 77. So if we want to say, count, we can extend this to the 83. Elder Scrolls Online base game happened in 82, so the history hasn't moved a lot.
That's the thing. Since his arrival, Helena has been both overjoyed and furious. I suppose his return after so long could explain her mixed emotions. But I think she's hiding something. They share terse whispers constantly.
If Aquilia was Lady Weatherly's last living heir, could she have expected to receive the missing fortune? A motive, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Foolish of you to think that I would just disappear.
My love, the investigator returns. We'll continue our discussion later. Apologies. Recent events have been overwhelming, to say the least. I needed some fresh air, and my dear Uriel saw fit to join me. Is there anything I can help you with? No, I was not. Lady Weatherly was kind enough to let me live on the estate when Uriel went off to fight, but I often spend my mornings walking through the woods, a ritual that has helped ever since Uriel's death. Absence, I mean. Otho Florius, the gardener.
Freudian slip.
He was the only one home at the time. Ever since I fired that horrible cook, Otho's been the only remaining staff member tending to the estate. Yes, I caught Edric snooping around my private quarters. Terrible thing, having one's privacy encroached upon. I told him to never return or I'd have Betu chase him out. I admit I did enjoy striking fear into that sad little man. Well enough. He's known me since my courtship years with Uriel. He causes his fair share of mischief, but Lady Weatherly could never bring herself to get rid of him. After all, Betu was her last connection to Uriel. The dog has a penchant for stealing what isn't his. I usually ask our gardener to wrangle him, but as you can see, he hasn't done a very good job. Of course, now that Lady Weatherly has passed, we can consider alternatives.
Go on then, ask me how I returned. It's the only question anyone seems to have for me. Uriel Weatherly, back from the dead. It's laughable. 6 years ago, I left to fight in Varen's revolt. I was gravely wounded and left for dead, and would have died had a caravan of Khajiit not stumbled upon me and taken pity. The Khajiit could heal my wounds, but not my memories. They were lost.
TV Bandari, right?
Every single one. I rode with the caravan until I was fully healed. It wasn't until we rode into Skingrad that the first slivers of my past began to return. By the time I remembered my name and where I lived, it was too late. Mother was dead. Some things, yes, but there are still heavy clouds. For instance, it's clear Mother's riddle was meant for me, but I can't make sense of it. I can only hope your talented investigative skills solve this mystery. I fear Aquilia has merely succumbed to her own grief, chasing phantasms with bloody daggers. My mother was a wonderful woman who died a simple death. It is sad, but common. You come to understand this when you've been to war.
Interesting.
From what I've been told, my mother lived her final years grieving in isolation. My dear wife Pelina did her best to keep her company, but my mother had no friends or visitors. Aside from the hired help, of course.
So, I suppose if Pelina arranged that Uriel would be killed, he lost his memory, now he came back, and but what are they arguing about? Something doesn't fit here.
All this talk of suspects when the woman simply fell. Though I suppose Thunderboots would not be here if the death weren't suspicious. Speak with the staff yourself if you see fit.
The gardener found that Lady Weatherly's body. We should speak to him next.
There you go, Betu. Baths aren't so bad. Apologies for Betu's earlier mischief. I hope he didn't damage the will. He's normally better behaved, but the lady's passing has certainly got him on edge. Yes, I had taken over kitchen duties while Edric was away. I was restocking the pantry after returning from the market when I heard a loud crashing noise from the library. I thought Betu might have knocked something over in the library, but when I went to check, the door was blocked by something heavy. By the time I wedged myself through, it was too late. Yes, she was lying on the floor, motionless. One of the ladders had fallen and there were books scattered all around. I can take you to see the library. Everything is as I found it. No, Lady Weatherly was the only one in the library. Which is odd, now that I think about it. Betu is usually plastered to the lady's side, but he wasn't in the library. He was shut up in Pelina's room. I wonder why she would have put him there.
I wonder.
Well, Pelina keeps going on about Edric, our cook. She says he was acting suspiciously leading up to her death. But for what it's worth, I find him to be kind. He may be able to shed more light on that situation himself.
You won't learn anything from those scheming charlatans, that's for sure. Lost memories, please. Children can weave better stories than that drivel. I'll say it again, stranger. You should leave this place. Nothing but rotten memories. No. Lady Pelina had all but run me out by then. Lady Weatherly couldn't bring herself to fire me, but I thought some time away would do us all some good. Worst decision of my life, I tell you that. It's my own fault, honestly. Something always felt off to me about Lady Pelina. She never seemed too torn up about Uriel's death. I was convinced she was hiding something, but turns out my chef's paunch doesn't make for being stealthy. She caught me going through her things. A terrible thing, I know, but I don't regret it. Some things deserve to be brought to light, you'll see.
Investigate the library.
Okay, let's go and check the library. This feels like a Agatha Christie murder mystery. Well, then again, they are fun.
The library is to the left. Your other left.
So this was blocked with something.
We must study the scene carefully. Look for anything out of place.
Everything is out of place. Lots of books around.
No, it was definitely intact before Lady Weatherly's death.
Something has broken the glass. Perhaps this was an escape route. Certainly a ladder couldn't have caused this much damage to the statue. You are certain this is where you found her body?
Yes. I'll never forget the sight of her lying there.
Quite the mess for a simple fall, don't you think? No blood, a broken window, and a fractured statue with no explanation as to how it was damaged. Music feels that there is something just out of reach of this one's claws. But what could it be? The details don't add up. Investigations always require some stretch of the imagination, but to make sense of this crime scene would be to dream up a work of fantasy. Perhaps the fantasy is the clue. Only a panicked hand could make such messy brushstrokes. Could Otho's arrival from the market have startled the suspect, leading them to block the door and escape out of the broken window? But then why create such an elaborate scene? A fall is simple enough, a tidy portrait. We should continue to investigate this broken window. Perhaps we can find a trail on the other side.
I would never hurt Lady Weatherly.
The investigation is complete. Everyone is a suspect. The library exterior is just around the corner.
Ah, the other, right.
Betu, what is he sniffing? Betu found a key, and look, it seems Betu wants us to follow him. Is that Edric?
It was I, lawyer cook Edric, who killed the Lady Weatherly.
A confession, and a flowery one at that. Music isn't sure what to make of this. Tea. This one smells ginger, hibiscus, and something else. Something sickly.
Poison tankard.
Edric's tankard. There seems to be a suspicious residue inside. So this is the memorial Lady Weatherly built for her son. Mysic's snout wrinkles at the stench of both fresh and old death. Betu led us to the memorial of the lost Uriel Weatherly, and now we find the cook freshly poisoned. Let this one see the confession letter. Why would Edric lead us to Uriel's memorial and then kill himself? And earlier, the cook warned us of some mysterious danger. Could he have met the fate he was trying to save us from? Too many bodies and cryptic messages for this one's liking. The note says that Edric served Lady Weatherly poisoned tea the day she died, but the cook had already left the grounds. Otho confirmed that himself. And this letter says that Pelena was present for tea, but she said she was out all morning. A good question, but the memorial may be a greater clue. Lady Weatherly had gone to great lengths to find her son, but was certain of his death to raise this memorial. Our Uriel may well be an impostor, but do not give away our upper hand.
Okay.
We know the real Uriel went to fight in Veren's revolt, and that Lady Weatherly spent a fortune to find his body. We also know
And
from
didn't
notes
find.
in the lady's study that Pelena was against looking into his death. Yes, our masquerading rogue. The cook was certain that he was an impostor, but what about the others? Aquilia has her suspicions, but shouldn't Pelena have known? Why hasn't she raised alarm bells and told the others? And he was the only one who could have ended the impostor's ruse. But then there is Edric's confession. Could it be a forgery to throw us off the trail, or a convenient end to our investigation? I sense another hasty painting is before us. We should question the impostor, but we mustn't let on that we know his gambit. I also have my reservations about the once and again widowed Pelena. If anyone else was aware of his ruse, it would be her. So why hasn't she said anything? Steady yourself as we approach the impostor, Uriel. This ruse may not be his only crime. It's increasingly likely that he killed Edric to keep his secret.
Okay, plot is thickening. Problem is that I'm getting so tired that it's hard to follow the plot.
What is with all the questions, cousin? Aren't you happy to see me?
There's our impostor. Talk to him, friend.
Our intrepid investigators. Pelena and I were just arguing over what to do with my mother's estate. Marriage squabbles. Have you made progress with that mysterious riddle? I can fetch her if you'd like. She just went into the kitchen. The cook, you say? Well, as close as any young heir is with their staff. Now that I think about it, I always did find him strange. Always one for the shadows. I'm glad Pelena saw fit to fire him. I only wish I were here to do it myself. Dead? What a ghastly turn of events! Hold on. Another memory is coming back to me. Yes. The cook always had a secret love for my mother.
Ah, you think.
Grief that led him to kill himself. It must have been. You don't think he also killed Mother?
Oops.
Oh, yes, of course. No, I must have gotten ahead of myself. Yes, that's it. All this death, I thought I left it behind on the battlefield, but it seems to have followed me home. Whether murderer or murderee, my heart goes out to Edric.
Thank you, Uriel. That's all. We should speak to Pelena next, traveler.
There's been another murder? The killer could come for any one of us next.
Nonsense. It's clear Edric was a troubled man who killed Lady Weatherly and took his own life.
Maybe so, but I'm not leaving this room just yet.
Okay. That's fine. Let's talk to Pelena. Because she's definitely involved.
Oh, Mizik, do you have updates on your investigation? Mizik, traveler, how fares the investigation? With so much still left to speculation, I've found myself wandering the grounds, trying to keep my hands busy. I hope to have things settled soon, for all our sakes.
Good, I think.
Edric? A murderer? I'm astonished. I guess I was right to be suspicious of him, but now I wish I'd had him jailed when I could have. What a travesty. At least now we have some closure, and can focus on the missing fortune.
She doesn't have an alibi.
Well, the lady and I had intended to meet that morning, but it slipped my mind. If the tea was poisoned, wouldn't that make Otho the suspect? With Edric away, he would have been the one to brew the tea for Lady Weatherly. I haven't the expertise, of course, to make such an accusation, but I do wonder. Otho and Edric have worked the estate for ages. Could they have felt entitled to a cut of the fortune? Useless speculation, perhaps, but the mind does wonder.
Well, butler is never, never murderer. That's one of the Agatha Christie's rules. Agatha Christie's.
All lingering threads. Traveler, let's speak with the gardener next.
Betu seems to have run off again. It's embarrassing, really.
Really?
You'd think I'd be better at keeping a handle on him, but the dog is a free spirit. How are things? Made any progress since investigating the library? It had become one of my daily duties while Edric was away. I usually try to brew her a pot before I leave for the market. Apologies for not mentioning that earlier. My daily tasks have become innumerable.
Yeah, because Pelena fired the chef.
Edric is dead. I can't believe it. No, he'd never hurt Lady Weatherly. We were like a family. Wait, the recipe for the lady's tea is wrong. She's always found ginger to be too overwhelming. Are you sure Edric wrote this? He couldn't have. He'd never make a mistake like that. And he was nowhere near the tea that morning. I started a pot for Lady Weatherly, and Pelena took over brewing it before I left.
Okay, Pelena was here.
Strange. She was most definitely here. She even offered to finish brewing it. I've been so busy as of late that I accepted her offer. It's not every day Pelena lends a hand around the estate. Wait. Could Pelena have poisoned Lady Weatherly? She usually has it in her bedchambers, but the room's been locked this whole time. It seems in the commotion the key has been misplaced. It's likely her room has remained untouched since this whole tragedy began.
Music recalls a gilded key revealed to us by Betu.
If you already found the missing key, you may be able to unlock Lady Weatherly's bedchambers.
Storm came in just in a right time. I wonder if it's all set.
If the room has truly been locked this whole time, then not even the killer could re-enter. Let us see if we can find any clues among them. This scrap of fabric seems to have been torn from an expensive dress.
Dearest Pelena. The late husband and I bore a striking resemblance, I'm sure you'll agree. Theophan Pictor.
If this letter is true, then Pelena played a role in Uriel's death. And this signature, is this the name of our resident imposter? The residue on that teacup stinks with the same foul smell as the tainted tea we found with Edric's body. Mizik would like to...
Can it have a good nose and good sense of smell? And this is one of the few characters that actually demonstrates the good smell.
This note seems to confirm that Pelena Weatherly had her husband killed while he was away from the estate. Did Lady Weatherly read it first and confront Pelena with the truth? And what is Pelena left to do when cornered? Indeed, Pelena may have sensed an end to her cozy life. Killing Lady Weatherly before the imposter's arrival would secure her the fortune. She couldn't have known it was hidden, and now she can't reveal the imposter without outing herself. A poisoned cup of tea would bring unwanted attention to Lady Weatherly's death. Helena's only option would have been to stage the scene. A fall from a ladder at the lady's age? Mizik can already imagine the solemn nods of acceptance. They must have brokered an agreement.
Simplest choice.
Ride out the storm of Lady Weatherly's death and come out the other side rich. But they've stumbled along the way thanks to a curious cook and a meddling Mizik. It's time we confront our killers. Mizik heard a scream from down the hall.
A plot is thickening.
He's dead! Someone killed him!
Betu? Betu, what's wrong, boy?
Nobody leaves until Mizik finds out what happened. Traveler, there's something by the body. Quick!
Edric.
We have to help him. Something has made Betu terribly ill. I've never seen him so scared. If only I knew what was wrong, I could help him. Wait. I recognize this smell. Yes, I couldn't place it until now. We used this poison around the estate grounds. We've fallen into such disrepair that beasts have moved into the cellars. Betu knows better than to eat this. He was forced. Yes, in the pantry. I kept a tin of medicinal herbs for this very occasion. I could never forgive myself if I had a hand in hurting Betu. Please, hurry! Get the herbs!
Quickly, friend. Search the pantry. With the herbs, we can save at least...
He's recovering. The herbs must be working.
Wonderful news. Traveler, let's discuss the note you found with our imposter. Our imposter is dead, and our killer nearly succeeded in taking Betu's life as well. It is also not lost on Mizik as to who is missing from this room. The note you found with imposter Theophan's body. What does it say? The lengths the cook went to protect Lady Weatherly. This one hopes she knew how dearly she was loved by her staff. There is no doubt left in this one's mind as to who our killer is. She must be held accountable for her crimes. She can't have gone far.
Betu? What is it? Where are you going?
Quickly, follow that dog.
Follow that dog.
Good boy, Betu.
Plot is thickening. I wonder if she's a secret cultist or something. That wouldn't surprise me. Monsters in the cellar, of course.
Get away from me, you beast! Damn dog! How are you still alive? I've committed no wrong. That man was an imposter. If I hadn't gotten him first, then...
Skeever.
I've committed no wrong. That man was an imposter. If I hadn't gotten him first, then he would have killed me. I spit on Theophan Pictor's name for masquerading as my dear Uriel. How could you possibly say that? Whose inane rambling convinced you of such nonsensical drivel? Everyone is out to frame me. Theophan, Otto, even that damned Edric. Damn this rotting estate. Everything I did, everyone I killed, I did it for my own survival. I hope it crumbles into dust just like that crone and her son. I spit on their graves.
Helena, why would you hurt Betu?
Because this whole family can rot for all I care.
So where's Mizik? Okay, he's coming.
You've done great work today, Traveler. The air is heavy with death. But just like the sun, truth will come out. If only Lady Weatherly could see Pelena beaten at her own game. Pelena will be delivered to Skingrad. With the evidence in hand, she should face charges for the deaths of Uriel, Lady Weatherly, and our imposter. While it's possible Theophan killed Edric, I am certain she played a role. To think this one nearly forgot about our remaining golden thread. Aquilia is the only living relative. Mystic supposes she will inherit the fortune. Not that we found a single coin to give her. Fortune aside, what we accomplished today is no small feat. If the fortune was to be found, we'd have stumbled upon it during our investigation. It seems Betu has brought us something.
Golden goblet. So the dog has sense of smell, and it can smell the gold.
That'll teach them not to cross us.
Can't believe it. Is this Lady Weatherly's missing fortune? Let us investigate.
If you are reading this letter, better trusted you with our hidden fortune. I had hoped that one day I would pass these treasures on to my son Uriel. But I learned recently that the woman I cared like a daughter betrayed me. And so it became necessary to hide the fortune she is clearly so hungry to acquire. Okay.
Lady Weatherly must have left that note before her death. We should show it to Aquilia.
Is it true? After everything my aunt did for you.
I don't owe you an explanation, Aquilia.
The murderer has been apprehended and will...
Otho did his best to explain your findings. But is it really true? Helena is to blame for this nightmare? I thought she was acting strangely, but I blamed it on the grief. I would never have expected her to be capable of all this. And what of Uriel? What was his role in all this? I knew something was off about him. But to think he also played a role in killing my cousin. Lady Weatherly gave Helena a comfortable life, looked after her every need. All this death, in the pursuit of an absent fortune.
Actually...
Betu was safeguarding the fortune this whole time? It's a strange request, leaving the remaining fortune to Betu and her staff? But I wouldn't dare go against my aunt's wishes. How sweet. Lord Betu of Weatherly.
You have got to be joking. The dog...
I can't believe it. There must be some mistake.
There's no mistake, Otho. I will help oversee the transfer of ownership. You and Betu will have all your needs seen to.
Excellent work, my friend. Let us speak. Many lives were lost, despite our best efforts. There is certainly joy to be found in our success, but This one will spend many a night wondering if there was more that could be done. Perhaps he is not as good an investigator as he thought. Do not downplay your role either, friend. You forget, Mizik was a bumbling mess, chasing a sneeze-inducing beast. Betu, until you arrived. You deserve a reward for your work, but know that this one is in your debt.
Symmetry of the Veiled set. Critical chance, spell damage, weapon and spell damage. 200% status effect chance while your health is above 50. That's 50% healing done while your health is 50% or less. Okay, interesting. Interesting. What is this? That's a hybrid set of all. Very interesting set.
Mizik hopes news of this case strikes fear in the heart of all criminals who think they have gotten away with their crimes. No matter how many years go by, justice is still hunting. And Mizik will find you in the end. Mizik will stay for a while as executor of the estate. But he cannot linger long. There are crimes that require his attention, and he must hurry before the trail goes cold. Yes, and Mizik could not have done it without you. But resting in the shade of one's successes too long dulls the claws. We will meet again, friend, and criminals will tremble at the thunder of our boots. Mizik likes saying that part.
Yeah.
I've always preferred cats, but you've made a good argument for dogs, Betu.
This one thinks Betu likes you.
Oh, well, you do seem like a very good boy. I'll be sure to order a lifetime supply of steak dinners.
Mizik hopes news of this case.
Okay, that was interesting. Not too surprising, but interesting crime investigation. Mystery, old-fashioned mystery. But yeah, let's continue our way tomorrow. We have XCOM, Open XCOM, 40k, Row Sigma mod in a long play, and since you people like to watch it, sure, I can stream it, and maybe stream a bit of this as well. So this will be like main game for a couple weeks now. So let's make it so. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to watch more, please remember my YouTube page. There's lots of shortened versions of the streams there, which you can watch at your own time. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm tired. Good night. Bye.